friends, welcome to Storytime. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Last week we talked about colors. What was your favorite color? Good one. Well, this week we're going to talk about gardens. There's lots of different kinds of gardens. You could have a flower garden. That's why I wore this fun flower dress. Or you could have a vegetable garden. Look at some of the things that grow in my vegetable garden. Here's one of my favorite things. It's basil. Oh, it smells so good. Can you smell it? Smell it. It's good. Another thing I grow in my garden is banana peppers. And I love tomatoes. They're so delicious. There's nothing as good as a fresh picked cherry tomato from your garden. Yum, yum, yum. Well, there's another special thing I grow in my garden. It has a circle leaf like this. Isn't that a fun leaf shape? It's circular like that. And it has a flower like this. And you know what? You can eat this flower. What? Isn't that silly? It tastes kind of peppery. It's called nasturtium. Can you say that? Nasturtium. Good job. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing to grow in your garden. Well, speaking of growing things in our gardens, what would you put in your garden? Say it loud. Okay. Well, we're going to read a book called My Garden, all about things that you might want to put in your garden. Are you ready? Let's turn on our listening ears. And then we got to do that special thing we do. We got to go zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. Did you do it? Let's do it again. Zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. My Garden by Kevin Hinks, published by Green Willow Books. My mother has a garden. I'm her helper. I water, I weed, and I chase away the rabbits so they don't eat all the lettuce. It's hard work, and my mother's garden is very nice. But if I had a garden, there would be no weeds, and the flowers would keep blooming and blooming and never die. In my garden, the flowers could change colors just by my thinking about it. Pink, blue, green, purple, even patterns. And if you picked a flower, another one would grow right back in its place. In my garden, the rabbits wouldn't eat the lettuce because the rabbits would be chocolate and I would eat them. If I planted seashells, I'd grow seashells. If I planted jelly beans, I'd grow a great big jelly bean bush. Sometimes in my garden, good, unusual things would just pop up. Buttons and umbrellas and rusty old keys. In my garden, there would be birds and butterflies by the hundreds, so that the air was humming with wings. The tomatoes would be as big as beach balls, and the carrots would be invisible, because I don't like carrots. At night, the morning glories would stay open, shining like stars, and the strawberries would glow like lanterns. It's night now. Only the fireflies and the porch light are glowing. Before bed, I take one seashell from the shelf in my room and go to the garden. I poke the seashell into the ground. Who knows what might happen? I cover it up with dirt and pat down the dirt with my foot. What are you doing? Asks my mother. Oh, nothing, I say. Just working in the garden. The end. All right, friends, I hope you liked that story. I have some jelly bean seeds. I hope that it'll grow into a jelly bean tree. That would be really, really cool. Well, I also have some other seeds to show you. Do you see this little teeny tiny seed? That's a carrot seed. Here's another seed. I can plant these into the ground and something will come up. What do I need to have them grow? What do you think I need? Say it out loud. If you said dirt, or if you said sunshine, or if you said water, those are all three things that I'm gonna need to grow a plant. I've got another story for us. This one's a classic. This is called the carrot seed, and it's about planting some carrot seeds. And I wonder what will grow if I planted a carrot seed? What do you think? Hopefully a carrot and not a pumpkin. So let's get our ears ready. You ready? And then we've gotta zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. Here we go. The Carrot Seed. Story by Ruth Krause. Pictures by Crockett Johnson. Published by HarperCollins. A little boy planted a carrot seed. His mother said, "I'm afraid it won't come up." His father said, "I'm afraid it won't come up." And his big brother said, "It won't come up." Every day, the little boy pulled up the weeds around the seed and sprinkled the ground with water. But nothing came up. And nothing came up. Everyone kept saying it wouldn't come up. But he still pulled up the weeds around it every day and sprinkled the ground with water. And then, one day, a carrot came up. Just as the little boy had known it would. The end. I hope you liked that story. What was it that he grew? If you said carrot, you're right. Let's play a guessing game. What do you think this is? If you said pepper, you're right. How about this? Tomato, yes. How about this? Cucumber, and then my personal favorite, it's this one. Corn, yes. So you guys, I have another story for you. It's called Muncha Muncha Muncha, and it's about a garden critter that likes to eat all of those things that you just named. Are you ready? Let's turn on our listening ears. Pop, pop. And then we gotta go zip it, lock it, put it in my pocket. Muncha 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 by Candace Fleming. Illustrated by G. Brian Karras and published by Athenium Books. For years, Mr. McGreely dreamed of planting a garden. He dreamed of getting his hands dirty, of growing yummy vegetables, and of gobbling them all up. But he never once tried it until... "This spring," said Mr. McGreely, "this spring, by golly, I'm gonna plant a garden." So he hoed and he sowed and he watched his garden grow. "Lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, yum, yum, yummy," said Mr. McGreely. "I'll soon fill my tummy with crisp, fresh veggies." But one night, when the sun went down and the moon came up, 3 hungry bunnies appeared. "Tippy, tippy, tippy, pat, muncha, muncha, muncha." The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his gnawed sprouts, he was angry. So he built a small wire fence all around his vegetable garden.
"There," he declared, "no bunny can get into my garden now."
And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat, spring hurdle, dash, 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 muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his nibbled leaves and gnawed sprouts, he was really angry. So he built a tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden.
"Humph," he huffed, "those flop ears will never get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now."
And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat, dig, scrabble, scratch, 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 spring, hurdle, dash, 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 muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts,
he was really, really angry.
So he made a deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden.
"Ha ha!" he snorted. "Those puffed tails can't get under it. They can't get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now."
And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat, dive, paddle, splash, 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 dig, scrabble, scratch, 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 spring, hurdle, dash, 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 muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chomped blossoms, his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was furious. So he hammered and blocked, sawed and stalked, drilled and filled, and trapped and locked, and he built a huge, enormous thing before the deep, wet trench, outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden.
"I've outsmarted those twitch whiskers for sure," he exclaimed. "They can't get through it, they can't get under it, and they can't get over it. No bunny, no way, no how can get into my vegetable garden now."
And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 stop! The three hungry bunnies looked and smelled and touched the huge, enormous thing before them, and tippy, 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 pat, the bunnies hopped away. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his untouched vegetables, he was happy.
"I beat the bunnies," he whooped, and did a jiggy-wiggy victory dance.
And then he climbed over, jumped across, squeezed between, and crawled under until he reached his vegetable garden.
"Ah," sighed Mr. McGreely, "at last."
Smacking his lips, he pulled and picked up the lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, and with his basket overflowing, he reached inside for something yummy. Muncha, muncha, muncha!
Uh-oh.
The end. I hope you liked our stories this week, guys. All about gardens, all the different kinds of gardens, flower gardens, vegetable gardens. Gardens are special. Stories are special. They help us see the world all around us and make sense of our world. So I'm glad that you joined us today. You can also join us in person outdoors at the Unicoi County Public Library at 10:30 on Tuesdays. So there's that, and you can always join me online. I had fun today, guys. I hope you did too. You know what else is fun? Rhymes. I love rhymes. Did you know that tomato rhymes with potato? Yep. And I'm feeling forlorn because I would like to eat some corn. Ha ha ha. That's pretty silly. Do you think parrots like carrots? Maybe. And I think broccoli is lovely. And beets are treats. That's pretty silly, I know, you guys. Well, join me next time Maybe we'll throw another rhyme. Ha! Time rhyme. Bye.